Throughout this pandemic, however long it lasts, would there be any level? Because the sort of rough thing I had in my head, the national debt for the last few years has hovered around 206 billion. And there's been huge growth in GDP, and the ratio of debt to GDP has improved because of that growth. Is there any level of national debt that you would be advising your cabinet colleagues? Jesus, I wouldn't like to see it, say GDP is frozen or going negative. I wouldn't like to see it go beyond 250 or 260. Have you ever thought about that?
A lot. And yes, I have a figure in mind, and I have a reasonable idea regarding where I think we need to be next year with our borrowing requirement.
Like beyond 250, would you be concerned?
Well, I've already done it for this year. I already outlined in April what I believe our borrowing requirement for this year should be.
Was that post-COVID?
Post-COVID, yeah. So
what
I've already done that. I indicated there in April that our deficit for this year will be between 7.5% and 10% of our national income. And that's a figure of between 23 and 30 billion euro. And to put that in context, you've expressed how much we're going to borrow as a percentage of our national income. I think a far better comparison is express that as a percentage of how much tax we're collecting. And after the first impact of this disease in our economy, we indicated we expected that we would collect between 48 and 49 billion euro in tax revenue. And we're now indicating we will be borrowing somewhere between 23 and 30 billion euro. So that shows the scale of the challenge that we have. But there's two things to bear in mind. The first thing is we can fund that borrowing for now because of the reputation for creditworthiness we reacquired as a country and the work the European Central Bank is doing. And when we get the tax returns in for August and September in particular, we'll be clear on how much we're going to be borrowing for this year. And then as part of getting ready for Budget 21, we'll outline our borrowing targets for next year.